Women who call their SO daddy during Shreks. Why? Hi Reddit guys. Subscribe now, or I will hack your smartphone. I might be too late to this threat, but I was dating this girl and she would call me daddy over and over during Shreks. I didn't think much of it and was pretty indifferent to how it made me feel. But then our relationship carries on and I met her actual dad. And he and I shared a lot of physical qualities. I looked a great deal like him. So that made me suddenly rethink all the times she called me daddy while I was balls deep in her boner color. My girlfriend calls me daddy when talking to our puppy. Does that count? Restrict my airflow. Father figure. Restrain my ability to inhale and then exhale in a controlled manner. Male parental person. Position your hands in such a way as to inhibit the normal function of my respiratory system. Immediate biological male progenitor. Obstruct the passage of air in my trachea. Paternal unit. I've never understand the issue with this. It's a pet name. Ever called someone baby? Are you actually thinking about babies when you say that? Same way girls aren't thinking about their actual dads. I like calling her babe because of the pig. That'll do pig. That'll do. What about mommy? A few years ago, on the day I was moving into a new apartment, I heard the neighbor next door shouting mommy. Mommy. Oh, mommy. I thought god damn it. They have a kid in a studio apartment? Nobody wants to live next door to loud neighbors. But then I heard another voice shout you're a dirty girl. During the time it took to unload a truck's worth of boxes and furniture and shuffle it into my new apartment, it became obvious that my neighbors were two women in love, or at least in lust. I lived next door to them for a year, and the loud shreks followed by a fight became a common occurrence, though sometimes the fight came first. Actually, I think mommy usually came first. Anyway, I never did figure out which one of them was mommy and which one was dirty girl. And that's not the sort of thing one can ask during neighborly chit chat in the elevator. Hi, I'm Nicola. And you must be mommy? Or are you dirty girl? Nope. Can't say that. Can't ask either. Nope. Goddamn. I hate apartments with thin walls. On the other hand, I'm pretty sure those ladies got me laid once. I had a date over one evening and my neighbors started going at it. I was so embarrassed. I turned up the stereo, hoping my date wouldn't notice the noise next door, but as the song faded out, we could clearly hear them. Oh mommy, who's my dirty girl? I'm so dirty mommy. I'm almost there. No. Wait for mommy come. Mommy, come. My date was the sweetest, most adorably shy woman, and she looked horrified. Or, at least, I thought she looked horrified, but I completely misread her facial expression, because, a few seconds after the next song kicked in and drowned out the neighbors, my date pretty much jumped me. My ex told me to call him daddy. I obliged, because he wanted it and at the time I didn't care too much for it, but I actually ended up liking it. It was more of a domination thing that I didn't know I had until I did it, but I was not thinking about me actual dad. Really freaking nasty. One time in the heat of the moment when I was close I said, yeah, you want daddy's I'm in you. And she got weirded out after. She hasn't said daddy in a long while. My friend told me a story about her and her boyfriend doing the nasty and during it he asked her who's your daddy? I shoot you not, she screamed her actual dad's name in the heat of the moment. One of the best stories I've ever heard. Darth Vader wait. Me too. It really turns him on, and I love his reaction. Also probably, because I have daddy issues. But shush. I have daddy issues too. I wish I could call someone daddy. Not as a Shrek-shul thing, just as in I still wish I had a dad thing. How you doing? Oh I'm so sorry. Surely those things can't be related. They are related, and don't call her Shirley. Dated a guy named Daniel relevant later, and I tried to spice it up by calling him daddy. He was not turned on and after he asked if I called him daddy and I joked it off and said no. Danny haha and yeah we didn't bang after that. Like others said, using the term daddy isn't about visualizing my literal dad. Shudder. Rather, it's about emulating a power dynamic between a typically older, stern but loving guy and a typically younger, sometimes rebellious but ultimately obedient girl. People like these labels because they capture unique nuances about the dynamic. For example, the term daddy implies that the guy is a provider, somebody who lovingly takes care of the girl. It also implies that the girl is relatively innocent. You don't get that specificity with, say, master and slave. Many people argue doesn't using the term daddy make you think of your father? My counter is, no. I'm 20x years old. I haven't called my father daddy in like 2 decades. You ever hear one of those 50s songs where the guy calls his love interest mama? It's sort of like that. Hey Shrexy mama, wanna kill all humans? No bender. I'm so embarrassed. I wish everyone else was dead. Or, anybody calling their partner baby every day since forever. I asked my girlfriend this once and she said it's because she wanted me to be the daddy of her children. I'm guessing this answer isn't universal. I know of a guy who calls his wife mother during Shreks. And all the time. Really. Kinda weird. Oh, mother. Could you pass the lube, please? Freaking Cicero. Dear sweet mother. Please, be gentle with me. Wrap me in your warm, whimsical embrace. I said all the time that this was something I didn't get. There was a friend of mine who was by all accounts my type, but for some reason I was never that attracted to her. She was objectively pretty, but just wasn't clicking. For some reason. One day we were talking about this and I said, I think it's so weird. And she looked at me and said, you don't like it daddy? And my balls jumped and then I got it. This happened to me. I told a girl I thought it was weird. So, she'd start saying it to me at the most randomest of times, and I just suddenly realized it was turning me on. Exactly what I came here to say, because a lot of guys like that shoot man. Seems like a few guys don't know they like it. Cause if you call him grandpa he's liable to smack you in the eye. More likely to tell her to go outside and get a switch. Go outside and get a switch. So he can whoop your ass. At Mario Kart. Implying people are playing anything but Mario Odyssey and Champions Ballad right now. Because it's weird to call your parents by their first names. Jeez. God damn it. My entire Shrekshal life, I've always thought this was gross and awkward and the opposite of Shreksy. Then, I had a baby with my husband. The word took on a whole new meaning and the idea of him being the actual father to my child suddenly made calling him daddy really Shreksy and a total turn on. I still think it's weird, but it works. It's our kind of weird. Yes. This is it for me. It's a mummy, daddy Shreks thing for some people. Not like daddy, daughter. You're unit, and he's the protector and father. But you're equal. Not beneath. You're mummy, and it's Shreksy. I like this too. It's a nice family feeling. I dated a Mexican girl, and she would call me Pepe. Talk about hot as frick. Also dated a Mexican girl once. She joked around that I should call her Mammy and she would call me Pepe. Externally I laughed it off with her, but internally I was screaming fricking do it. You shoulder done it. It's just power/submission kink. It's not like you're literally pretending to have Shreks with your dad. That's fricking weird. I was always pretty self-conscious about this kink until I let it slip to my boyfriend one time and he happened to be really into it. Don't knock it till you try it. Yeah, people don't get weirded out when couples refer to each other as baby during Shreks. But when you think about it, that's the last thing you want to be brought up during Shreks unless you've got an impregnating fetish. Hi. Woman here. I've been very into calling a few of my past partners daddy, specifically the ones I view as being more dominant in our relationship. For me it's the power thing. I'm a control freak normally, and I like being able to go full submissive in the bedroom. Calling him daddy is just another term like soul master, and it has absolutely nothing to do with my actual father or any issues related to him. Daddy as a term of Shrekshal submission and respect carries more comforting connotations of trust as opposed to master. I think it's hot, And if my partner does, then hell yeah, I'll call him daddy. I like my girls calling me Goshujin-sama. Go full weeb with Wagararoji-sama. My fantasy. My girl smirks and refers to me with Wagararoji-sama yo. I stop mid-play, leave the room, sit naked on the couch in the dark and think carefully about what has become of my life. I go back into the bedroom for a wildly impromptu motorboating session. We frick for 3 days. This reads like Dwight Schrute wrote it. My girlfriend was groomed to be in peen as a child, and she is kind of fricked in the head from that ordeal. She is really into daddydom, little girl stuff. Sorry, that's pretty horrible, but that's the truth. Don't know why you got downvoted. I totally get it. My wife is a rape survivor. She also likes to be held down and tied up and to fight me. Everything we do is consensual and the word stop is absolutely respected. People don't get it, I guess. But I can tell it's something cathartic for her. She's doing these things on her terms and taking experience that was traumatic and making it a pleasure. I'm fine with it. As long as you respect her boundaries and everyone's on the same page, do whatever deviant kinky stuff floats your boat. Girl who's also been raped here. You hit the nail on the head with the doing things on her own terms part. Some people think that rape play is inherently fricked up. I get that. For me, though, it's a way to relive that scenario in a way that gives me the control. I fully understand how this could sound like a paradox, but it's quite empowering. In addition, I don't participate in this kind of play with anyone who would actually violate someone's sexual consent. Thanks for sharing your thoughts with me. I'm sorry that you experienced that and I hope you are healing in your own time and way. Although it seems for my wife it's a wound that never heals as much as a scar that is part of her now. And yes, I agree, it's important that the other partner understands what their role is and is respectful. Okay Reddit guys, subscribe now, or I will hack your smartphone.